Hey, no one but Omertas are allowed to carry guns into Gomorrah. Check your weapons with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to me, Mr. New Vegas, and you look extraordinarily beautiful right now. I've got news for you. Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along
What's up?
Nipton Highway and I-15. Also in the headlines, NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. The news has been brought to you by the Vicky and Vance Casino. Vicky and Vance, be our partners in crime. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Be sure it's true.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Guns. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because
Feeling thirsty?
words were spoken. I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin.
Michelle and I ran a little shop in Prim till a prison break north of town spoiled it for everyone. Goddamn convicts just about shut down I-15. When traffic dried up, we took to our heels to find us some customers. I'm not one to sit around waiting to get saved, and Michelle ain't neither.
I'll believe that the fiends are gone when they stop their raiding and pillaging.
Just over a whole lot of
Business has been brisk. Something big's coming. I can feel it.
I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's
To the town of our Freer rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared crack his business, no one dared make a slip. The stranger there among them had big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red.
You need something?
Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead.
I don't know what it is about you, but I think you could actually pull it off. Deathclaws are tough bastards, but you might be even tougher. Nobody here is any use to you in a fight against Deathclaws, but take these men. To do the job right, you've got to get rid of the pack leaders, the Mother Deathclaw and the Deathclaw Alpha Male. Should run the rest of them off.
Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry men that tried before were dead. 20 men tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip.
When you say I love you,
Morning.
it's a sin to tell.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him.
Thank you for visiting New Base.
No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side slowly.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting for you upstairs, so get a move on. Come back soon.
To do some business with a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name
Where to, partner?
Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around.
I take it you've come to deliver the platinum
Was
chip.
an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red.
I'll be happy to satisfy your every curiosity once the platinum chip has been delivered. How shall I put this? Delivery of the platinum chip is non-negotiable. I invite you to think carefully about what you do next, standing alone before me, surrounded by my heavily armed Securitron guards.
The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 11:20 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death.
By the time I was 30 years old, I was a billionaire 30 times over. I founded and ran a vast economic empire. Do you really think I'm going to let an upstart come into my home and ransom my property to me? I spent 2 centuries searching for the platinum chip. It's my invention, my property, mine! Now be a good courier.
It was over in a moment.
You needn't be afraid of me. It's my security.
Engaging target. Body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. When he tried to big iron on his hip. In this town there lives an outlaw by the name
Where to,
of
partner?
Fred. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though you.
I take it you've come.
And the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in
I-
19 more. 1 in 19 more.
Engaging target.
Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, ranger wouldn't be too long in town. He was taken out on that fire. And he said he's red after Texas. Wasn't long before the sun was relayed to Texas red. But the outlaw didn't worry men that tried before a day. Big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death.
Targeting.
There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round.
Target found.
There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground.
Targeting.
Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
Play the guitar, play it again, my Johnny.
Targeting.
Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside.
Targeting.
I was always a fool for my Johnny, for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay?
Targeting.
I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again,
Targeting.
Johnny
Targeting.
Guitar.
This is Radio New Vegas, and I'm your host, Mr. New Vegas. And in case you're wondering if you've come to the right place, you have. Here are our top stories. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. Also, listeners have been unable to pick up radio broadcasts from Black Mountain recently. Most are calling the static, quote, a welcome improvement. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle,
Target found.
jingle,
Targeting.
jingle, jangle,
Targeting.
as I go riding merrily along. They sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell. Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. They sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle, and that song ain't so very far from wrong.
Engaging target. Got spurs that jingle, jangle, I got spurs that jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. Oh, ain't you glad and they sing, oh, ain't you glad and that song ain't so very far from wrong. And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Be. I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wet. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick?
have you done this? Centuries of preparation. So much good undone. Your vanity project. No! Don't disable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our program. This is Mr. New Vegas. Each and every one of you is wonderful in your own special way. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. Also in the headlines, the influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
To the town of Alfreel rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
Hey, no one but...
He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper.
You'll get these back on your...
And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead.
Won't be missing Mr. House, that's a good. Strip's better off without it.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night some girl was pounding on my door all night.
Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona, ranger wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive and
Oh, hi again. Can I help you with something else?
After Texas Red.
Mr. House is out of the picture and you have the platinum chip? Wonderful. Let's go.
But the outlaw didn't worry men that tried for forward day. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger.
A ghoul goes to a doctor and says, Doctor, doctor, I have this horrible...
The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death.
Hi! This is big, huh? A very big moment. Here goes. I'll just take that platinum chip off your hands. Thanks. Wish me luck.
And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red is not clear leather for a bullet belly. With the big iron on his hip.
Wow. Mr. House had quite a setup here. I can access his databanks and view telemetry on every Securitron on the network. Wait. So, that's what the platinum chip does. Interesting. Mr. House had a whole demonstration planned for you. Just head downstairs to the lowest level to check it out. You'll see.
Tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
Step closer to the demonstration area, please. Okay, so you're familiar with Securitrons by now, obviously. I mean, some of your best friends are Securitrons, right? Our titanium alloy housing does a good job of protecting our delicate electronic impacts from small arms fire and shrapnel. Our left arm contains an X-25 Gatling laser, quite deadly against soft targets in medium range. That looks like fun. And for close-range suppression and crowd control, we had this handy-dandy 9mm submachine gun. Nice. All of this is old hat, right? Here is where it gets interesting. Turns out that those are our secondary weapons. All this time we've been running the Mark I operating system, which doesn't have drivers for our primary weapons. Imagine! Now watch this. I'm downloading the Mark II OS to all Securitrons on the network. It makes quite a difference. With the M235 missile launcher, we can engage ground and air targets at long range. And a rapid-fire G-28 grenade launching system makes us deadly in close-range engagements. Woo! Look at that! The OS upgrade also includes drivers for our onboard auto repair systems. Just try to hurt us now. Altogether, this software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. You can come back up and see me or be on your way. I know you're a busy person. An entire army of upgraded Securitrons just standing by over at the fort. Pretty neat, huh? Oh no, I didn't mean that. Who needs their support? The Securitrons will be all the support you need. What I meant is, you should get to know these tribes and decide which ones you like and which you don't. You know, shape the future of Vegas. Choose your neighbors. If you like a tribe, leave it alone. Or, if a tribe is nasty or going to be a problem, go ahead and exterminate it. It's whatever you want to do.
I love you. Yes, I do.
There's a bunch. Some of them you've already met, like the chairman, for instance. I think you should visit the other families on the strip, the Omertas and the White Glove Society, so you know what makes them tick. And there are some important groups farther from the strip, too, like the Boomers, the Great Khans, and the Brotherhood of Steel.
Be sure it's true.
The Khans are just... they're a dirty people. They live in tents like animals, and they're very rude. They've been kicked around a lot, but no one's finished them off. Not yet, anyway. They were one of the tribes the three families pushed out of Vegas. A whole bunch got killed. So they settled at Bitter Springs, but they kept being so obnoxious, the NCR had to kill a whole bunch more of them. So then, they settled at Red Rock Canyon. There's just no getting rid of them. You set the pace. Anything else I can help with?
When you say I love you, it's a sin.
They go around in big suits of power armor, and they have lots of energy weapons. But there's a downside. They just have a thing about technology. They think it should all be theirs. If someone else has it, they get mad. All I'm saying is, not much of a chance they'll accept a Vegas that polices itself with robots.
And that somebody is me. I love you. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment.
Okay, consider them forgotten, along with projections that predict they'll be our biggest enemy. Forgotten! That's one down, 4 to go.
Also, NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when...
Then consider them ignored. If they end up firing their howitzers at us, we'll ignore that too. Until it goes... That's 2 down, 3 to go.
Failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. The news has been brought to you by the Vicky and Vance Casino. Vicky and Vance, be our partners in crime. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them.
From what I understand, they're perfectly polite. They're cultured, clean, and super polite. Benny didn't like them, though. He said they were creepy.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running.
Don't hurry on my account. I'm the one with a flexible schedule. Anything else I can help with? Sorry if that was getting boring. Don't stay away too...
Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he